Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. It's Friday, so we've got fun stuff to play with. Today we're going to play with the KingArt Artist Mix Media Gel Sticks. These are a soft buttery textured crayon, cream crayon, and yeah, they're actually really nice. This is an empty box, as you can see, because I have taken them out. It has the color chart on the back of the box. It informs you about the crayon and or gel stick and what you can do with it. Of course, it is a mixed media gel stick. They're made of water-soluble wax. They're soft, buttery. They can be used dry or wet, which is fantastic for this month, especially since we're doing watercolors this month. So I'm going to put that over there and out of the way. And I'm going to bring over the crayons. So they come in these hard plastic boxes. And on one side, of course, you can see the colors. And on the other side, you can see the color names. These are named and numbered. Yay! So unlike the last set that I showed you, these are named and numbered. These are quite a bit more expensive, and they are quite a bit larger. So unlike those other ones that I showed you earlier, these do have a thicker end to them. They still work the same way. You turn the bottom, they come up like a lipstick. You know, just like that. And as I said, they are bigger on the tip. Of course, there is a lid, and the lid does fit on the end of the crayon. So you just have to be careful putting it in. There is a click when you push it down, so you know that it is on there, which is also really good. As I said, they do have a name and a number on them. So this is dark pink, and it's GS026. Now, I didn't put the numbers on, just the names. So I will do the swatch, and then we'll come back and talk about the swatch and talk about the crayons. Well, gel sticks. These wonderful things here. All right, just 1 second while I get the video up and running for you. This will just take a few minutes. Unfortunately, for some reason, my speed up isn't working very well. So instead of doing it at the speed that I normally do, it's a little bit slower and hopefully not as stuttery. When I tried to speed it up really quick, it stuttered really bad. So this one is going to be a little slower. So grab your coffee and sit back and relax. Okay, guys, sorry about that. I know it was longer than normal, but unfortunately I didn't like the sound of it the way that it was going at the normal speed I normally have it. For some reason, it was going very stuttery, and I didn't like that. So I didn't want you to have to sit through the sound. It was driving me crazy. So let's move these out of the way, and we're going to take a look at the swatch. And I'm actually going to move it the other way and put you on a close-up so that you can see all the pretties. So just throw you on the close-up here. All right, so this set has a great selection of metallics. So they've got a metallic red, orange, copper, dark pink, and I don't know if you can see that, but it is really, really nice metallics. So they've got some really, really pretty metallics. They've also got gold and silver, which I have actually moved to where these two are for the white and black. They have a nice skin tone, some wonderful yellows into the oranges, the reds, the pinks, and they were all in the right color order. Not the color order I would have put them in, but in a fairly decent color order. Straight out of the box. The yellows were together, the oranges and the reds and the purples and pinks and all that were in the right place, which is really, really good. It's got a bright pink and a light pink and a dark pink, which is awesome. Some good purples. It's got at least 3 of each color family, which is fantastic. So, you're not constantly trying to figure out what color to use. It also has some really good browns as well, including a nice light tan brown too. So that's really cool. I really like the metallics. They're very pretty. And I don't know if you can see it as well as I can, but it is really, really shiny. Yeah, it's not too bad. I like them. And they don't have the glitter that the other ones do, but they do have a much better shine than the other ones did. Now, as you remember, we were working on this with the other crayons, and now that it's dry, you can see the glitter in that silver, which is really kind of cool. But we're working on new ones right now, so let's take a look at this fellow right here. Of course, I'm going to show you the crayons too. I'm going to switch back over here. So this is the yellow set. The only thing I don't like about this is that they come in 4 different boxes. So in order to use them, you have to open each box, put them all in a line and that fun stuff. Unless you know exactly what colors you're going to use, and you pull them out and you move on from there. So each little box has a part of the set in it. This is the yellows and reds into the pinks. This is the pinks and into the purples, blues, and greens, the turquoise colors. And then, of course, we have greens into the browns, into the grays, into the black and white in this one. And then this one has all of our metallic colors. So I'm going to take, of course, we've got our palette here. So I'm going to take a couple of colors and I'm going to put them on the palette. So I need black, which is in here. I need black, white, gray, a little bit of black, brown, a little bit of blue. So, and then of course our dry colors. So of course we're going to put them on our palette. And this stuff I'm going to pick up with the paint pen and paint the picture itself. Now these are named and numbered, so that makes things so much easier. And unlike the other ones, they are a little bit harder. So you have to press a little bit harder on them than you did with those smaller ones. And then we want gray. So they've got this gray, which will work just fine. And of course, just like any other paint, if you don't have the color that you absolutely want, you can just make it. You just add other colors to a color till you get exactly what you want. All right, so we've got the gray on there, the black and the white. Now we need a little bit of blue. I'm actually going to use the metallic light blue, or maybe, yeah, I'll use the metallic light blue, I think. Let's see, yeah. For the ice, for the little bits of blue in the snow to show that it's snow. And then we'll take a little bit of the tanny brown color here for the sled. And like I said, these ones are a little bit harder, so you do have to push down a little bit to get that color off onto the palette. When I first did the background thing with these ones, I was not pressing hard enough and did not get enough of the color down on the palette, and it didn't work at all. So I was a little bit perplexed on why it didn't work until I talked to Davissa, who taught me how to do this. So we're just going to fill our brush with the black. Got it all nice and full of the black. I'm going to switch you over here, and we're going to paint this little fella here just the same way that we did with the other ones. And as you can see, the pigment on these ones is a lot deeper. The color is a lot deeper. These are more expensive than the other ones. And like I said before, the other set is a very beginner set, and I am a very beginner. I am not perfect at this at all, proficient even. Painting is not something I'm overly wonderful with, but I didn't want to spend a lot of money. And if I didn't find these on sale really cheap, I wouldn't have bought them. But I found them on sale for almost $20 cheaper than I could find them on Amazon. And right now they are on sale on the KingArt website. And I do believe that they have come up on the Amazon's deal of the day or something like that. Should be coming up shortly. I will check before I put the video out, and of course I will leave links to Amazon as well as KingArt, so you can of course get the best price. Now I will let you know that the link on Amazon will be my affiliate link, and of course with my affiliate link it does help out the channel a little bit. Every time you use that an affiliate link, it does give me a couple of cents, so that I can continue providing products to you guys, so I can keep on showing you cool stuff. And as you can see, I haven't re-dipped this pen at all in the gel. It is just holding that color, which is awesome. That color is just really vibrant. There's a lot of pigment in these. Okay. And now I'm going to rinse that out and take my where's my paper towel? Use my paper towel to wipe it clean. Now I don't want any black on there at all because I'm going to be putting it into the white. So if you find that you've got some residual color on there and you're going into a lighter color, make sure that you rub it right off. Otherwise you're going to end up with a gray. And of course, try not to reach into your black. I know that you'll want to, as a colorist, blend those two colors in together. But the thing with watercolor is if you take a lighter color into a darker color, you end up with a lighter bit of the darker color, which is fine at the very, very edges. But then you've got to rinse your brush and make sure that you remove that darker color out so that you don't end up with gray spots all over where you don't want them. Now I'm going to actually grab the crayon because there is several different ways that you can pick up color from these, the same as the other ones. And I'm going to actually pick it up directly from the tip here, just because I want a really, really thick layer of white. So I'm just going to actually go straight from the tip and try to get as much white on here as I can so that it will show better on the painting here. Show better on the paper. I do apologize. My dog has decided that she's going to make rude noises. Okay. Now that's our little fella there. Now we're going to take this white and this gray, and we're going to fill the brush with the gray. And as you can see, the brush is very full of gray, so we should be able to pretty much paint the sea lion here. Now, of course, you can layer these. Just let it dry for a little bit first before you add another color. Otherwise, you will get a mix of colors. Now, I don't know if these are something that will dry and will dry to a point where the color is not going to move, but at least you'll be able to layer that new color on top of it if you do it with a very little amount of water. Like I said, these can be used dry. So what I would suggest if you're going to do that is maybe try doing it with a dry brush and blend it into what you used for the light already. Like for example, here where he has this penguin in front of him, you would think there would be a shadow there. Same with on this side. So what I can do is I can just take a little bit of black now that I've gotten to that point where, you know, he's going to have that shadow, and just add it. If I find it's a little bit too dark, just add a little bit more gray and break that down a little bit so that it looks like a dark gray. And just gently put in the shadow. Now, if you're going from a really dark color to a really light color, you might not want to do that. but because there's a big shadow area there, same with on his behind there. Now, if you turn the brush a little bit, you may get a little bit more of the lighter gray than the darker gray, so that you can layer that color and show those shadows. I am not at all proficient with this. I am learning as you are. So if I learn something new, you learn something. You learn something, and I'm always learning something new. So, like I said, these crayons are very new to me. If they weren't on sale, I probably wouldn't have got them. And working with them and working them themselves is something that I'm really new at. So if you have a better way or want to teach me something, let me know, and I will take a look at it. Okay, so that's the gray. Let's rinse that out. I'll just throw that in there. So now I'm going to roll that right over top of it. I'm going to take this brownie yellow color with our pen. Just going to rinse this gray out. Let's get that gray right out of our brush. Instead of rinse that gray right out of our hair. Get that gray right out of our brush. And I didn't put any yellow down, but I think this brown, this tanny brown might work for the yellow that we need for this beak and whatnot. It might be a little bit too yellow for the sled. I might have to put down a different brown for the sled. Okay, like I said, it's not perfect, but I think I need a little tiny bit of water there. Just to get that color flowing a little bit better. And then we have happy little feet. Okay. Yeah, that worked much better. I'm just going to hold on to the picture so it doesn't move. Now, of course, these are watercolor, so depending upon how much water you use will depend upon whether or not the paper is going to warp and bend up on you. This paper is quite a thick paper, so it's actually behaving quite well with the paper that the water that I'm putting down. So I'm going to take a silver and I'm just going to go straight to the tip with a silver metallic. So I'm just going straight onto the tip here, getting some of that silver on to my paintbrush so that I can do, it's not enough. I'm going to have to go like this. One of the things that I am noticing with these is they're, like I said, they're quite a bit harder. So I'm having to work them a little bit more than the softer ones. but they do have a lot more pigmentation in them once you get the pigment going. It's just getting the pigment going that's for some reason not working very well for me. So I'm going to mix a little bit of gray in this and see if we can get at least a silvery color. Okay. So I think that's the best we're going to do with a paintbrush, I think. And we're going to mix a little bit of this in here. And a little bit of this. And make a nice brown. So what I've done is I've taken that yellow and mixed in a little bit of black to it to make a brown color for the sled. And I know the set comes with browns. I just wanted to show you that it was possible to mix the colors yourself. All right, I'm going to rinse that out, and then I'm going to add that blue and do the snow, the sled lines, and the ice there. So I've filled the brush with this metallic blue. And we're just going to go around in areas that would have an icy look. If you were sledding. And the one thing that you have to remember, especially with watercolors, is that when it dries, it is a different view. It's a different look altogether. Like, for example, when I did these, they looked a lot different than they do now. And I'm going to rinse that. And then I'm going to take a little tiny bit of pink and put it on his nose. And then I'm going to do the background. So I'm just going to go straight to the end of the pen. And I'm just going to pick up some of that pink. I'm going to use a dark pink so that I don't have to use a lot of it. And so that I know that the pigment is nice and bright. Like I said, I didn't need a lot of it, just enough to make it nice and bright. All right, so now we're going to take a paper towel and we're going to wipe off everything off of our palette here so that when we add the colors for the background, they're not going to get mixed in with some yellows or grays or blacks, because that would be icky. Unless you're doing a yellow, gray, or black background, but we're not. We're going to do purples and blues. The same as we did with the other set, just with this new set to make everything cohesive. So I'm going to actually use some metallic purple and metallic dark blue because I like the look of them. I know I'm being a little bit I just like the look of metallics. I like sparkle. So put down a good layer of this metallic blue. And as you can see, I have pressed really hard. Just to get that color down. And then we've got the metallic purple. And we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to press quite hard to get some color down. And the brush, I will use the brush to break that up to make sure that it gets nice and blended in there. Now we'll put those aside. We'll take our brush, and it's a nice big brush. So we're just going to drag that through, and we're going to break up that color. Make sure that you get a nice even coat of that color on there. And pick it all up. Try to make sure that you don't have any big chunks in there. And then, of course, you just start going in circles and scrub it on. And of course, you know, what I would suggest is that you do this beforehand so that you can erase it if you get it on to your picture. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter, does it? All right, so now we've got that blue on there. Now I'm going to take the bit here, and we're just going to get that into those deeper areas, trying not to get anybody blue. And now we're going to take our brush, and we're going to take it and just scrub it on a piece of paper towel to get as much of that excess blue out of there. Of course, you're always going to have a residue until you wash the brush, but at least it's mostly out. And then I'm just going to go in, and I'm going to break down this purple and get as much of that in there as possible, and just going to break it all down. Make sure that it's not too many big chunks, because big chunks are just going to give you little streaks. Okay, and then we just go in and go over top of that blue and just get some of that color in there. Just like that. All right. And of course, I've done all that, and you didn't even see it. So we're just going to go in and just get as much of that color in there as we can without picking up too much of the other color. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our white, and we're going to add some snowflakes. Now I had the white out. What did I do with it? There it is. So we're just going to add, like I said, this can be used dry, directly off of the pen or the crayon, just like you would a pencil crayon or a marker. And I've just added some snowflakes. Now, if you get color on your pen, don't worry about it. You can wipe that off just with a bit of paper towel. So we've got a clean piece of paper towel, and we just wipe it off. And it's all gone. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, and that is the end of our KingArt exploration. Personally, I absolutely adore the metallics. They laid down beautifully with water and without. I was able to get a gradient effect here with the lighter grays into the darker grays. The blacks are just beautiful. The pigmentation in the black is fantastic. The tanny brown color I used for his nose and his feet is wonderful. I'm actually going to take a little bit of orange and finish off his feet because I don't like the way that looks. So I'm just going to take the orange directly from the pen, from the crayon, onto my paint pen. And I'm just going to give him a little bit of color on his nose, as well as his little feet. And I went over the lines. I think that's another part of painting that I don't like is I go over the lines all the time, and that drives me crazy. But that's just because I have not learned how to completely control a paintbrush. And I'm quite sure for all those people out there that know how to control the paintbrush really well, this is not a problem for you. There, that's a little better. Now he's a little bit more orange. See, and like I said, with this sort of thing, if you find that you don't like the color of it, change it. You know, just the same with coloring with pencil. If you don't like the color, change it. Now, of course, I'm going to also show you the same thing that I showed you with the other set, is that you can, in fact, change the look and make it look like it had raindrops on it just by adding bits of water. As soon as I can get this drop off, yeah. So you can add drops of water. Just let them sit for a little bit. So as you see, I've added all different little drops of water here. I'm going to let them sit. I'm going to actually add one more there. I'm going to let them sit for a little bit, and then I'm going to take my paper towel, and I'm just going to pick them up. And it just picks up all that color out of the areas that you put the water. Now I put too much water here, so the color picked up off of there. So I'm just going to cover that up a little bit with what was on the brush. And it doesn't look perfect, but what can I say? But once you put it down, you know, you can change it. You can add water to it. You can paint over it. You can do all sorts of fun stuff with it later. It is not the end as soon as you put it down. Just like if you get it on your desk, you can wipe it up with some water. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to switch you back over to the other camera here so you can see my mess. In this video, we've used brushes, dry brushes. So this was done for the background with a dry brush. We used the water pen. This is a Caran d'Ache water pen. Another thing we have used as well is these wonderful crayons and, of course, paper towel. Other than that, I think it's been pretty much a pretty simple endeavor. And I'm going to enjoy playing with these. I should be able to make all sorts of wonderful, wonderful backgrounds with these fantastic tools. And this one is not in the right place. See? I'm horrible. It's like, I know this is not right. But what we'll do is we will go through and we will play with them some more and have some fun with them on other days doing other things. I do have a couple more videos coming out today that have to do with water. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you stay tuned for the next set of videos. The next one, I do believe, is a wonderful set of watercolor pencils, and we will take a look at those and determine whether or not they're any good or useful. With that, I thank you all very much for watching. Of course, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and always hit the like button. It does give me a boost in my confidence, and I really enjoy it. If you want to join us over on Facebook, the link is down below. Please fill out the application form in full. We don't accept anybody that does not fill out the application form due to security issues. And last, of course, and not at all least, remember to relax, color, and stay safe. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.